Respect us as human beings. Don't knock us down. We doing this for the cause. It's because we affected by this. This is personal. We are affected by this. We can't even work in our own communities. Who got to go outside Newark to get a job? Who got to go outside Newark that live here to go get a job? I'm quite sure most of the Newarkers in here don't even work in Newark. And it's a disgrace. Who getting pushed out of their homes because the rents keep increasing? Who going to landlord-tenant court and they don't want to hear nothing from you but pack your stuff and leave? I go sit up in landlord-tenant court and it's a disgrace. We used to go investigate the courts for tenant rights, to go in there and sit there and watch how they put people out of their homes. Foreclosure in this city is an all-time high. It's a disgrace. These banks are making money and we're not holding them accountable. Did y'all know that there's a community reinvestment act that banks that's doing business in your community supposed to handle the disenfranchised people of color from that community? Is that happening here? Is that happening here? Some of y'all don't even know about these laws. Go look up the Community Reinvestment Act. It's a federal act. It's a law. You got banks all over this community that's not giving us loans so we can become self-sufficient. They got predatory lending. These issues are still real today, and they even worse. Ride through the city of Newark and you see all these abandoned houses. Ride through the city of Newark and you see elderly people sleeping around and with bags. When you see elderly people and veterans sleeping on the streets, people who fought for this country, you got veterans at the highest population of being homeless and mentally ill. So if the government, these people fought for the government, and this is how the government treat them, this is the disgrace. And anybody who's conscious and in their right mind to see this happening in our community and don't get up and stand up for the people, if you're supposed to be for the people, representing the people, you're supposed to be community activists, you need to understand what that means. We don't need no community actors. We need real community activists. We don't need no community actors. We need real community activists. So I say to you, when you march up in there tomorrow, for those who speaking tomorrow, this issue must continue. We shouldn't only have a teach out, a speak out, a sleep out just for one day. This should be continuously, especially when we got black leadership that's supposed to be working in our best interests. So that's all I got to say. If you don't get involved in the politics of your community, there will be consequences.
Thank you very much. Power to the people, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Manira. Let's hear it for Sister Manira, ladies and gentlemen. Sister Manira has been out in the streets for a very long time fighting. She's been pounding the pavement for each and every one of us. She's been fighting for everyone indiscriminately because she believes, like many of us here tonight are saying, that housing is a human right, ladies and gentlemen. Housing is a human right. That's why we're here tonight. That's why we've been here all day. That's what we've been fighting for. That's why we're saying again that we believe in the movement for Black lives, ladies and gentlemen, because we believe in Black liberation, which is liberation for everybody. Don't forget that. Black liberation means liberation from everybody, and we're going to do it from the bottom up. It's a groundswell, ladies and gentlemen. People have been here all day. People have been communicating different organizations, cross-organization interaction. This is what we need. This is how we're going to build Newark, and this is what we're working on, because specifically, we want to start working on self-determination, or not even start. Our ancestors were working on self-determination. I had already talked to you about how there weren't slaves that were brought over from Africa. There were Africans that were enslaved while they were brought over to the United States. And in the same way, through colonialism, our brothers and sisters throughout Latin America were all turned into indentured servants. Their lands were taken away from them. They were murdered, and there was genocide. This is what's been going on around the world for over 500 years, ladies and gentlemen. And what are we doing about it? We're standing here tonight and we're saying, we're not doing this anymore. We are taking that role of our ancestors. We've heard Fred Hampton. We heard his voice earlier today, and we know that his spirit is here. We have Dr. Martin Luther King down here, ladies and gentlemen. His spirit is here. I remind you that Dr. Martin Luther King, on the night before he was assassinated, was talking about the need for people to extract their money from their banks, to put it into black-owned banks, to start unions. He was speaking to the sanitation workers of Memphis, Tennessee, and he was talking about building the economy for black people, building the economy from the bottom up, ladies and gentlemen, not from the top down, not from the Banks of Americas, not from the Wells Fargos, all of that dirty slave money that has existed, all the people who, like Aetna used to put out insurance on slaves. That's how Aetna made their money. Okay, this is the history that we don't know about, that has been covered up, and we're saying no. We're gonna step away from that. We're doing something different. That's the line that Sister Manira comes from. That's the line that so many brothers and sisters out here come from, and I thank you because you've taken the time, you've put out the energy to represent that. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's anyone else who wants to take the mic, please feel more than free. If not, we're going to have a musical interlude from Brother Mark Wilcox. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, when we were told that we could not sleep on the steps of City Hall, when we were told that tomorrow we will not have a permit to march, the excuse that we were given for that was that there were no officers to cover us. I want to thank the officers that have been out here. I want to thank the officers that have been watching over, who have taken their time. We know it's not hard for folks who have been standing here all night. They're standing here as well. It's not easy. Thank you very much. Thank you also to, again, each and every one of you who have put in so much time, so much effort to getting work done. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got DJ Marco Flolo. DJ Marco Flolo. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand. Let's hear it for DJ Marco Flolo. Forgive us, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. We're live.